Last time on CiP.
I can paint a picture. Like
A demigod or like an oracle.
The potential of this person.
he finds everything condescending.
Let's call her Granny Master Facts.
No.
The first one.
Mm-hmm.
Already.
No.
Okay. I know.
That's
Nathan's-
a long time ago.
Yeah, you and I are the exact same age, but Ari's quite a bit younger. But there's this
talking
movie
about,
called
like,
Mortal
80.
Kombat based off this video game called Mortal Kombat, and the song you know that song though, that Mortal Kombat.
Yes. Oh, yes, absolutely.
Absolutely. I can't sing anymore because I get copyright strikes, literally. But in high school, Baki did his performance, this amazing performance to the entire 4.5 minute long play edition, where he was twirling his staff. I'm not sure what the actual name for that martial art is, like Kempo of some kind, but he was twirling these staffs, and he was twirling them really, really fast. And this was at our high school kind of Winterfest, this big talent show essentially. And it was packed with all kinds of people watching him on stage doing this. And it was kind of it was really cool because it was in neo-noir, light and everything. So it was kind of dark, but you see him twirling the stick. And as he twirled the stick, you see the lights kind of fanning off it. And there's a part where it hits that huge, massive crescendo, and he threw the stick up in the air and he caught it. And what's funny about it too is how in the rehearsals for weeks out on end, he couldn't catch it. He kept missing it. But for some reason during the actual show when it mattered in the dark, he actually caught it every time.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh,
Nice.
He really became a celebrity on campus after that.
yeah, he only lasted 12th grade, so that was it.
Yeah.
He was
You
trying
peaked
to
early.
He peaked early. Since then, he's been wearing a robe in his home.
Old memories. We all have some nice, good old high school memories. So.
Good old high school memories. Yes, bringing everyone up to speed. This is our guest, Alexander, aka Baki Hanma, who is one of my best friends from years ago. I met him when I was 16 in high school. We've known each other. He also is a voice actor, and he's helped Nate and I with some projects, which will be coming out in the near future. So Baki, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Happy
Now,
to be here.
do you have any experience not wearing robes, or is it only wearing robes?
My experience with robes is I've been having the same robe for many years. So you have to have a little suave, a little class, a little cup of joe to get things right.
Perfect.
There we go.
Nice.
We call that go juice. We call that go juice.
Go juice.
And Ari calls that her best friend.
I'm working on a smoking jacket too, a smoking robe.
Oh,
Nice.
fantastic. Very
I like
classy.
the guys too. So.
I love it. I want to name that Cedric. I want to name your robe Cedric for some reason.
Cedric.
I don't know why.
And you're gonna name this something. You've been through a lot, I tell you that.
Yes, I love it. All right. So speak.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
He's frozen.
no, he's not.
It's just,
Oh, Ethan is.
yes.
Oh, Ethan is.
Yes, he was so caught up in the moment that he's literally caught up in the moment.
Nate.
Oh, here.
Ah,
Sorry.
yes.
Come back to me, Mike.
There you go.
Ah, yes, he's back.
Come back
All right.
to me.
I'm back. Sorry.
Hello.
Sorry about that. Well, all I was saying was Ari was already doing her thing. Ari is illustrating Baki's character. And Baki, if you would please just tell the audience about this character that Ari is illustrating.
Okay. Actually, this character is a character I've been having for the past 20 years. He's actually an online character, pretty much. And if you know anything about Final Fantasy, been going about 10, 30, 40 years. That franchise has been around for a long time. And I made this character that represents me. He is an elf. His name is Aura Silgorius. At the same time, he's 7 foot. He has a black mage, matter of fact, of art. As far as adventures and things like that, I created him to be a black mage. So, this character here is not only represent the end game, but also he's also been representing me on the outside world as well, as far as using him for certain particular things, which I won't go into detail, but, it's I'm gonna put it like this: it'll be very hard to, let's say, if you have passwords and things like that, you will never find out my passwords. So he is a character that, you know, just out of the whim, I can just, you know, pull him up, and you won't be able to figure out, you know, any passwords to get into my business. So
he said he's kind of in the real world. He kind of represents you too. So it's kind of a Bruce Wayne, Batman, Al Ross situation.
Right, exactly. So,
okay. Which Final Fantasy game which is Final Fantasy Online? Which one is it?
This one is Final Fantasy 14 online.
14.
Oh, man. See,
Why you play that, Ari?
I want to real bad.
my
I can't because I don't have the hardware for it. However,
Or the time. You played,
Or the-
700 hours.
yeah, that's true.
Wow.
I am currently caught up in several other games at the moment, but I know what you're talking about. Excellent.
Awesome.
So real quick, Boggy, for some details too. This character, Alros Sagorius.
Yeah, Aura Saborius.
So
No.
Oh no.
Oh, he's getting jammed up.
typically, he's a black mage, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Is he coming back?
Yeah, he's in and out.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. We apologize for the technical difficulties, any viewers who are watching. And what's really silly about this is the fact that I set up a technical difficulties button on my thing, but I didn't set up a scene to connect it to. I kept putting it off, and it would really be usul right now to hit that button, and so that way we could have technical difficulties. But I think he's back because I see his eyes moving.
Sorry. Yeah. I actually never left. I had a massive stroke and just smelled peanut butter on toast. Sorry about that. My connection hates me. But so I think the last image you guys heard, I was asking about some details as far as the type of spells this mage like to use. He's a black mage, right?
Yeah, black mage, more of the dark arts, fire, ice, wind, water type spells, teleportation, spells like that. Very, very actually, he's one of the most powerful characters when it comes to group casting in the game. So you can get those numbers up there if you really focus and you get the right materials. You can really get it really get up there when it comes to destroying your enemies.
Nice.
Perfect.
I do like to destroy my enemies.
I know that we need him today. Does he have a spell of choice, a go-to spell, a spell of choice?
I like to use it's an umbral fire type spell. So it's more of you cast fire, but then you switch off into a infernal fire, and what it does, it'll give you a a all-out blast, what destroys multiple enemies. So it's a certain, I would say, combination I have to use to get that spell out. So once I use that, then I'll be able to bring down my enemies, level, faster. And so it's hard to do. You really have to really focus. But when this character uses this, you're praised, put it that way. As a black mage, you're very praised if you know how to use your skills, your abilities.
Okay.
So,
all right.
And I love
so we definitely have. So the AOE. In terms of nerd video gaming, AOE. His AOE is you have to earn the ability to use that to kind of spell, and once he does, it's pretty much a game changer.
Exactly.
One last question before we get too much further. This is Final Fantasy. So you mentioned fire as one of your go-to spells. Do you use Ifrit? Ifrit is a summon. Is he in this game? He's the one that does the fire the most.
Yeah, he is in this game, but only if I switch to the summoner job. Okay. So, and the summoner job is not one of my favorite jobs to use.
So you can't, if you don't use that specific job, you can't have a summon. You can't summon the god of fire to help you.
Right. You know, you have to be a summoner to cast him.
You have to have it. Okay. Interesting limitation. Okay.
So, I don't like the summoner.
Okay. All right. That's fine. We're just trying to fill in the details here for this character. All right. Fair enough.
Right.
Fair enough. All right. We don't have to use him. You don't you prefer to go old school, just do it yourself. Well, yeah. All right. All right. Cool. Well, Nate and Ari, did you have any questions about this character?
Not at this point. I think.
Yeah, not quite yet.
Yeah. I think with this one. Oh, good. I'm sorry.
No, you go first.
I was just going to say, I think that what's probably going to happen is we'll kind of create the world, and then Baki can kind of fill in Allross's, like how Allross would handle the situations that we create. That's it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. This is kind of this is almost in a way like we're playing a D&D game together online. We have a D&D.
It's cool.
So yeah. Okay. So on that note, then, too, Sergey, if you would do us honors, we can go ahead and get ready for the roll, the critical roll, as it were.
Subtle.
Subtle. Was it subtle enough? Was it not subtle enough? Or too subtle? I can hear Ari rolling her eyes.
Yeah.
Oh, you heard that, huh? You heard that.
I heard that. Or maybe you sounded you gritting your teeth.
That was a 1d10, right? Good, because that's what I rolled. A 4. Okay, I think he froze again, or he's playing statue.
Yeah.
D10.
We're very good at our jobs in general.
Jeez, yeah, I don't, my goodness. Professionals, people. We're professionals.
Yes.
Exactly.
My favorite
Am I
thing.
supposed to see whichever roll or no?
You guys got me again?
Yeah, I got you back.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry about that. My connection's having issues tonight. All right, so yeah, did you roll already for that one?
Yes, I rolled, and it is 4.
Perfect. So I did swap out some of these categories and try to make them a little, so we're not playing the same ones over and over and over again.
Roll. I'm sorry.
Your mic's fine. Mic's fine. I don't know if this actually is a swapped out one or not, but it's we got sci-fi. That's the category we actually have. Sci-fi. Now within the sci-fi realm, we do have options there, so we can get a little more particular. We have apocalyptic, utopian, dystopian, cyberpunk, steampunk, tech noir, and space opera. Which particular facet are y'all feeling of sci-fi?
We could just roll again.
We could.
I'm gonna roll again.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
For that, so that, how many options was that?
1 second, Sarah. 7.
Is there a D7? I don't think there is. It doesn't like that. So we're gonna do. We'll do a D6 and
do 6. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, just do D6 and 1.
Perfect. So it's apocalyptic.
Okay.
I don't believe we did that as recently. I know we did cyberpunk recently, but not apocalyptic as recently. So sci-fi in the apocalyptic nature. Okay.
Okay. All right.
All right.
And hold on, just trying to. Okay, and then another D10 for setting.
Settings, yeah.
2.
Ooh, let's see what 2 is. 2 is now. 2 is space.
Nice.
The last time we tackled space was when we had that that giant turtle type of thing. The one we haven't done is actually, if you want to get more particular with that actual specific genre, we can do spaceship. But if we can just do space again and kind of.
Well, we can. I think that's getting into things we can, like, as long as it is space-esque.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think space works.
Okay.
All right, let's do. This is for time, so I'm doing 1d4, and then,
Yeah.
we'll ignore the other. Go, damn you. Okay, sorry. 2.
Oh, okay, perfect. Okay, this one is just a present.
Yeah.
Just present. Yeah.
Yeah, for these kind of things, like the time one almost doesn't make, like it doesn't like really apply.
It's
so
kind
much.
of
Yeah.
Because we can
Loosey
fudge it
goosey.
if we need to. Yes, it's in the present, but it's in another galaxy.
Told you. And I like how it is. It's a sci-fi apocalyptic present. That's not a story at all. That's very much a biopic.
Yeah.
As Ari sheds a tear for her reality.
It's about the Space Force. Anyway.
Yeah, I wish there actually was one. Okay. All right, Sarah. So I used I whipped out our truncated list
Okay.
for the archetypes. I didn't swap them around though. I want to leave them as they were because there's still so many that we haven't used. So hopefully we should get something new.
Okay.
Now the truncated list. Let's see, right here. There we go. I believe it's at 100 that I made it last time.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Yes, it's at 101 technically.
Okay.
But I guess you can just do.
And
100.
my finger slipped and I rolled it too early, but it came out 40, so we'll just go with 40.
40. I don't believe we've rolled that yet. So let's see what we got.
Not today, anyway.
So we have no, not today. We have instructor. I don't know. I think we've used teacher and mentor, but not instructor, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
So
think
we
that's
can use
fine.
that one. Okay. So we'll lock in instructor.
Okay. And I'll throw it again. Motherfucker, it said 40. Okay, we're doing it again.
Really?
Oh,
well, the first time it was your finger slips. It doesn't
Yeah.
count.
If it does 40 again, this site's broken. Anyway,
Yeah, something's
48.
off.
48.
Oh, okay, that bell curve.
Yep.
Oh, that bell curve. All right, 48. Slow down a little bit here. Mediator. We did mediator pretty
Yeah,
recently.
we've done
I think, didn't we?
mediator, so I'll throw it again.
Pretty recently, yeah.
38.
Okay. Now this one we haven't done. It was close last time with Adam, but not exactly. So it's servant. We haven't had a servant.
I think that's fine.
Yeah, I think that's fine too. We have an instructor
Especially
and a
if you
servant.
spell it right.
Good luck with that. That's too many letters for me. But we have an instructor and a servant. I'll lock that in. And then we have Alros, who is a black mage, borderline high elf black mage. It seems like.
Right.
So let's put it in here.
Okay. Sorry, I'm fixing things. Oh, jeez. Oh, God.
It's all right. You're still handsome.
We're trying our best. Listen, it's been a week. It's been a week.
It's been a week.
The way you guys, it's something serious.
Oh, it's been yes.
It's been.
Yep.
It's been.
It has been.
I'm gonna call the story that too. I'm gonna call it "It's Been."
It's
And then
been.
ellipsis.
Hey, you got a good one.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Even a stop clock.
Yeah.
All right, there we go. All right, there we go. So, just to recap real quick, the genre we rolled for was sci-fi and with the niche in apocalyptic. The setting is space. The time period is the present. Archetype number 1 is the high elf black mage known as Alros. Archetype number 2 is instructor, and archetype number 3 is servant. All right. Okay. All right, squad. Let us commence. And Ari is drawing a beautiful, beautiful image as always.
Yes. And
Okay.
Thank you. By the way, Baki, feel free to weigh in on things you'd like me to change as I work.
Absolutely.
All right.
And also that goes for the story too. I mean, you're part of the writer's room, so anything and everything you have to say, say it.
Okay. That's cool.
And feel free also to impersonate the character of Alros. As a voice actor. That's welcome.
Oh. All right.
okay.
All right. Now, any first thoughts? Any first thoughts about what to do with this character in space in a kind of a apocalyptic setting?
Should I go first?
Sure.
Yeah.
Anybody jump in?
Okay.
It's your character.
Well, I see my world is destroyed, and things need to change and I need to figure out a way how to get out of this situation. Find another place to live. Maybe find the best weapon I need. That's what I need to do for one.
Perfect. So the two things that you said there, and I am a comic nerd, as you all know. The first thing is you said your place or your world is destroyed. It made me think of Krypton. We don't have to milk that exactly, but just the idea of something possibly foreign coming to your world that is trying to destroy it, or is destroying it, or has destroyed it, and you need to flee for safety. We could have it that as opposed to Krypton, where it's destroyed entirely and you leave, never going back to it, you leave with the intention of coming back to reclaim it. You leave coming back. You leave to train and get more gear, like you said, special weapon or whatnot. We could try something like that.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, I think probably. I mean, it's pretty. It seems pretty cosmic already. So why not go like the sort of Titan AE angle where you have to find a super weapon of some kind to retake your planet?
Yes, I like that. Good. By the way, good Titan AE reference. That's the first one of the show. Yeah, it's actually a good movie. Yeah. So I like that idea. Is you're trying to reclaim a super weapon. What's fun about that is it could be either you are trying to basically get a giant spaceship that can make a big huge blast, or just on yourself. It could be like you're a mage, so it could be like a super wand that gives you the powers to make a super
it could be like a spell. Yeah.
Or it could be the spell itself. You need to find written in a tome or whatnot the actual spell, how to cast the right spell or something.
And usually that would be the task. Things are kind of wiped out pretty much. So the best gear, the best weapons, like you said, is something I definitely need. And you need companions. But character, he's more of a loner. And so he don't need too many companions with him. So he knows some friends. One friend, pretty much.
So given what we rolled instructor and servant. And no offense to Alros, he seems, if he is kind of a high elf kind of black mage in a way, he may come from money or some means. And he may actually have a servant already with him that's traveling with him, like a sidekick or a Samwise of sorts. And they may be seeking out an instructor to help him learn how to produce a mega fireball, or to make this weapon, or just someone that can tell them where the weapon is. So that could be essentially the Alros and the servant leave their planet in search of this instructor that can tell them what to do next. You can go that route, possibly.
I do like so Alros is a bit of a loner. So maybe instead of these two characters knowing each other beforehand, he encounters a servant on maybe a space station or a ship who also has their reasons to go with him and help him achieve his goal.
Yeah, that seems more nebulous, but also has more heft, I think, in a story situation. If it's a person who's also in need that he bumps into, that Alros reluctantly allows to tag along with him, essentially, or her, whatever it might be. Yeah, I like that idea. And then he said there's a space like way station. So there could be this big epic in the beginning of the story, when things are good. Before these, I guess we're dealing with aliens of some kind, either aliens or a different type of elves attack his homeland.
Space elves.
That's it. Space elves.
Space elves.
These space elves, before they invade his world, everything seems good. Everything seems green and lush, and there's a big, huge, epic escape scene where he's casting very basic remedial spells to escape. And he basically just manages to at the last second escape into like some kind of either a spaceship or whatever it might be to get away from the planet while they're attacking. And it turns out that this other person is in there, or they're actually at the first way station he goes to, but they escaped as well. They're from the same. Should they be from the same planet, or should they be of different race?
No, I feel like they should be from the same planet.
Okay.
At the time, Malros he's also trying to find out why has this happened? Why is this world the way it is? It's a source. And someone is controlling the upper hand.
Perfect.
And that's the goal. So it's a lot before you can get to the bigger picture. So, there's a lot of steps, but I definitely want to find out, how this came to be and what are the true plans. Are they trying to destroy other worlds or take over, whatever the case may be?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that's fun because it does deal with the motives of the baddies as well as the main baddie themselves. And we can get into more detail with that too. So yeah. So we have these are space elves invading, or at least warring space elves that hit up his. Do we want to go with home planet or just home? Yeah, she's amazing. Is it his home planet or just like his home village, home city? How epic should this be?
Very. I'm sorry.
Very.
I just.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. We can just say they're invading their home planet. Then why not? If we're dealing with space altogether, why not have him actually leave that planet? And the idea is he can actually go to different planets too. So okay. So they invaded, these space elves invaded from another planet, and they basically torn asunder his whole planet, not just his city, but his whole planet. Right. Okay. All right. That works. And you mentioned the space way station that they go to, Ari. This space way station that they go to, I guess it's a friendly territory. It's meant to be neutral. He goes there expecting it to be.
Yeah, it could be like a docking it's a neutral area for travelers to just feel. It's like a gas station,
right?
But like in space,
right. I feel like did someone say cantina? It's a cantina scene.
A place to gather information.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a place to get information. Yeah. So that could be it. He deliberately goes there to get information.
But he delves in too much, then he gets attacked.
Yeah, he accidentally, he goes there trying to get information, and then there are some not so great people maybe hanging out looking for survival perhaps, and so he accidentally gives a little bit too much.
Right.
More like darker elves. Let's establish that. Darker elves. But the elves are high nobility type.
Well, what we can do as well with this, we can have it that, since we're leaning, this is space and it's sci-fi, the genre we wrote is sci-fi, we can actually have it that he's one of the few elves from his planet that managed to escape. And once that happens, they become like a hot commodity. And so there's a call goes out to all the bounty hunters, all the IG-11s, all the Mandalorians, whatever, to pretty much track this dude down. So at the cantina scene, we're not getting the copyrights, no copyrights. But
yeah, I was just thinking, that's not copyright or anything, right? I'm sure that nobody's made a show about that.
No. So at the cantina scene, he's with Grogu eating, but at the cantina, when he's kind of inquiring about these things, he doesn't yet know how much of a target or bounty is on his head. He's just kind of casually asking, and he starts, like you guys said, he's drawing attention to himself. And before long, a bounty hunter. How does English work?
That's a good title too.
Before soon,
before soon.
Before soon, or after before. one of the bounty hunters gets wind of him, and there could be some kind of an action sequence there where he's using his spells. It's pretty much as a huge kerfuffle happens within this way station / cantina, and that's when the chance, though. Sorry,
I said they don't have no chance. See, he's a pretty powerful black mage elf.
Perfect, and that's what it could be. He actually could obliterate these. It could be a bunch of bounty hunters. It could be like 3 or 4 of them. This is Clint Eastwood versus a whole bunch of guys, and he's able to obliterate them. And pretty much everyone else that's in the cantina clears out, except for him and this one little the servant character is like hiding behind a bar or whatnot. Could be the bartender themselves, and they witness what this guy does, and it pretty much seeing this how powerful Al Ross is with magic, even though it's still somewhat fledgling. They're blown away by it. They've never seen anybody do this kind of stuff, and they want to tag along essentially.
Yeah, maybe they feel trapped there, and they're like, "Oh my God, this person can actually protect me as I travel or something."
Yes,
I like that.
And so it's like, "Hey, can I tag along with you? Maybe, possibly."
Yeah,
I
exactly.
almost want to add in there like it's apocalyptic, and I'm thinking more of forbidden magic, not to be used, and
They shouldn't be using the magic.
Magic was banned, put it that way. So
Okay.
more is so using of this magic, is it's just like it's like being put away forever or being killed on the spot type of thing. So
Yeah,
but
also with
go ahead.
I was gonna say with the ban is that most people, even elves, don't know it. Too, Al Ross is kind of unique in that sense. But, what were you gonna say, Bucky?
No. That was good. That was good.
Yeah. So it's one of these things where that's you mentioned earlier that this servant.
No.
It's happened again.
And Tails had the ability. Yeah, I'm here. I'm sorry. My connection hates me a lot. It could have been kind of the same way that they from Tales of Old. This servant character has heard about elves being able to do magic, but has never witnessed it. And then Al Ross shows up doing it, and that's what inspires her to want to join up with him that much more. Is that she actually sees, in the flesh, an elf do something that she's only dreamed about, essentially. And we can have her having kind of a shitty job at the cantina, whatever. So she's even more inclined to want to leave.
Shitty waitressing job.
Shitty waitressing job or something. Yeah.
Excuse me.
Let's go. Okay. And like you said, he's a loner. So when she first tries to tag along, he's like, "No, it wants nothing to do with it. He just wants to be left alone, as is." Very Mad Max style.
Pretty much.
Yeah, and she keeps going after him. Do we want to have it that this? How old is Al Ross, Bucky, roughly?
Well, elves live a long time, so he's more of, I'm gonna say 100. No, he's around like, from the character we have a long time. I'm gonna say about 200 years old.
Okay.
So he's been around.
And I guess but in elf years, he probably is like 20s or 30s, something like that, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Age slower. Okay, and we could have her. Want to have her younger, so there is a bit of a protege dynamic, or.
We could try older just to switch it up a little bit, because we've already done a bunch of like stories with.
I like that.
The female character being.
My character is older because, ours have been through. I would like to say, each expansion that came out. Each expansion is like a new story. So each expansion he's gone through, trials and tribulations, or he's aged, or he has gotten war wounds or battle scars and things like that. So, at first I started off when he was young, and each expansion, his hair grows a little bit, or he's gained a mustache or whatnot. So my character's a little bit older, a little bit more experience and wisdom. So
closer to like 40s or something like that. but we can still have it. I like the idea of the servant being older, because what we can do is Alros is very experienced on his planet, but in particular, but it may not have left that much. Our servant character could have lived on many, many galaxies or different systems, so she's more experienced in the world, in a more worldly sense. So that's
also age doesn't necessarily guarantee experience. So she could be in, I mean, whatever species she is. She could be an older human, or she could be another elf, depending. But if she's been trapped there for a while, she probably hasn't had like a bunch of chances to, be experienced. So that may have influenced her desire to leave.
Yes, but do you want to have it that she was? I kind of see her as someone that was has had all kinds of jobs and lived all over the place. And she kind of settled in that place. I sort of
meant as like she's been trapped in this style of living where she has to go from job to job. Like it's not what she wants. That's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I like the she and he duo. This is servant we're talking about, right?
Yeah. Servant's the older woman. Yeah.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, so I still want her to be able to contribute something too. So she's not just. If we're gonna go with the older woman, I don't want her to just be kind of the plucky. She's not a plucky young sidekick. She's a different angle.
She can contribute a relationship.
That could happen too.
Well, I mean, yeah, but let's focus on because if they're gonna be a duo, if they're gonna travel together, she's not just gonna do. Like she has to contribute in some fashion.
Yeah.
So since he's a black mage and his realm of expertise is magic, perhaps her realm of expertise is machinery, because it's science fiction.
Yeah, there you go. I was thinking either machinery or engineering or something. She can
like it should be an engineer or something.
Yeah, perfect.
I like that.
Because it's two different things. They can both still be elves, but they can have different specialties with that. Yeah. Love it. Okay.
On that note, she's a machinist. So in that realm, they deal with a lot of gun type weapons, gun type machinery that she's very capable of using and putting together. So she almost like a gun tech.
Perfect.
If you want to say machinist.
Gun tech, gunsmith.
So, she put a lot of guns.
Space age gun tech.
Right.
Yeah. So when he's fighting when Alros is fighting the other bounty hunters and stuff, she might actually kind of back him up, or she might witness what he's doing. Kind of when everyone else flees, she might stay there to kind of help out in a way.
Right.
Yeah. Good. Okay. Perfect. Oh, nice scar there, Ari. I like this scar.
Oh, thank you. No, it's just add those scars.
The idea that I was thinking especially when you said older. And then I know the other mention was potentially this kind of almost like a guide, because Alros might be a little not as aware of at least the area that they're in. So I think it would be kind of like I know this is a weird pull, but I'm thinking of what's her name on Tatooine in Mandalorian.
Maz Kanata? No, I'm sorry. No.
Mandalorian.
No, yeah, I'm sorry.
Just FYI, I haven't seen the second season yet.
So. Oh no, this isn't a spoiler. This is excuse me. This is she's a really funny comedic writer. She has a kind of a curly afro.
brother
is Sedaris. Amy Sedaris. Amy Sedaris. Like that kind of character is jumping out at me. Like this kind of rough and kind of, very, very like, okay, oh, you need help? Okay, come on. You just come with me. I'll take care of you. Come on, we'll get this. That's the kind of attitude I'm feeling from this. I don't know. It's just what popped into my head.
Here's what also
see that, especially because because Alros is so like, I'm not about this whole traveling with the companion thing yet. Yeah. And she's just like, no. You need someone.
Yeah.
Exactly. She needs
like,
to be more.
Please stay away from me.
Yeah, she has to be more the levity in that sense, but also she has to be confident levity too, not just annoying levity. Another thing is, Nate, I know one reason you may have thought about her is because when I first saw that character in Mandalorian, my first thought was, oh, she kind of reminds me of a young Star Wars Golden Girl. So when you brought her up, I was like, oh, of course, Nate wanted to put a Golden Girl in this story.
Of course.
But no, that works. I like that idea. I like that idea a lot, actually. Okay, so yeah, we have our dynamic duo of sorts. We have the kind of more lighthearted gun tech that's a little more world traveled, and we have our much more clearly battle hardened and more stoic mage. Two of them together. And I guess also because she does know more about like Donatello, knows more about she does machines. Maybe she could help him get to a spacecraft of some kind to travel further, or get a better spacecraft to travel further along the way. Okay. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Right. Now, the biggest thing too for part of this plot, Baki, is you mentioned that they're trying to get a all-powerful weapon, or something to battle the invading elves back on his planet.
Right.
What do you have in mind? Is it, I guess, or what's in the games? Is like a staff that mages use, or when you click the actual spell book or something?
Well, it is a staff, but more so of the spell.
Okay.
And the Ultima spell.
Ultima?
Yeah,
that's Final Fantasy. Yeah.
That's
100% Final Fantasy.
Yeah, that's right for Final Fantasy, unfortunately. But that is, we don't have to be exactly the ultimate spell, but it's a very powerful spell, and it's more of an AoE type spell. Of course, you need a nice, good
I like that
staff. To wield that particular spell too at the same time. So, with her, she has special skills as a machinist at the same time, and the fact that she can get certain materials to equip and attach to this staff to bring out or heighten its power, because he already has the spell, he already knows the spell. It's a forbidden spell, but at the same time, he knows that spell. But he needs a very powerful staff that's able to wield the spell, to really, do some serious damage. So he won't kind of like destroy him, if you know what I'm saying. So that's one thing I feel like she has a good ability. But he doesn't. Ours doesn't know that about her yet, and she doesn't even say anything about it, So, how weapons, you can just kind of heighten the weapon by putting certain things in the weapon, right? So that's for her skill. She can do that, but it's not really said in this story yet.
Well, not yet. But we could do also, we could see that she, maybe even in the cantina fight, that she's using either a pistol or some kind of a firing weapon, and she's able to essentially shoot what looks like spells out of it on some level. There's an anime called Outlaw Star. I'm not sure if either of you have seen it or heard of it.
Oh, I've seen it.
Oh, you've seen it? Okay. The character, the main character, the kind of the roguish cowboy character, uses a gun that shoots caster shells. So it can either fire a fireball or like a black hole type of device, these type of things. She could be using something like that. And you mentioned the materia. Obviously, materia is an element, or is a I guess like a tool that characters use in Final Fantasy. So it could be that she's basically using quote unquote materia to enhance her guns and things of that nature. And so Al Ross may have witnessed her using that and not really known what she was doing. Kind of keep it a little more vague, essentially, but that she's not just a regular nobody.
She's been around, I tell you that.
And what if we have it too that during the fight, if we, I guess, adding limitations or adding some lore, do the staffs that Al Ross is casting with, do they have a like a number, like a count. You can only cast 100 spells with this, or they lose power each time you use it, or certain spells, like the sword in Breath of the Wild, after you use it like 14 or 15 times, no matter how powerful it is, it breaks or wears down. You have to wait for it to recharge. Is there any kind of a restriction on these spells or the casting device?
The only restrictions is if you don't combine the spells right, So let's just say you're trying to do a single target attack on a character, and you begin to cast fire, and then the fire goes, but you're starting off with fire, but at the same time you're building to a bigger spell to bring down your enemy. So, but you have to get the combination correctly, So if you don't, then the spell is weak when the attack is made. So
it's more on the user than it is the actual device or tool. But
Right.
a tool is still used in it. So if that's the case, then obviously it doesn't matter how many times you use it or whatnot. We could have it if the search he's going on is to get or to acquire a better staff to use the spell with, and ultimately to learn how to cast the spell properly. Because I guess their goal is we could have it that our character, that Alros, is ultimately trying to figure out how to get to the instructor. He may have some knowledge of his existence, but not really know where he is. And he's trying to go there because he knows that there is a spell called the Ultimate Spell, but he doesn't really know how to properly cast it. So we could show that his main mission or his main quest is to get to that guy. And maybe our servant character, because she's such a world traveler, she knows, or she's heard of someone like this. She's heard of someone that kind of fits this description that she thought was more or less an old kook that was talking about old spells and crap, but it turns out he may actually know something. So we could have it that's kind of what leads the story. It gets us to the next point. She's trying to take him to this mage.
Yeah. That could be our first and or second act? First act?
Yeah, that'd be a good first act, I think.
Yeah, it will be.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that's pretty good.
Looking for that. Searching out the instructor, right?
Yeah. Yeah, they begin their quest together to find the instructor.
Yeah, I think that's a good place to wrap it up. And then we can come back next week to do the to actually find the instructor and finish the story. Does anyone have anything to say before we end this? Anyone, cappers or anything you want to cover?
Not for me.
I just want to say I love the artwork for this character, Ari. He looks like a badass vampire elf mage. The one that the avatar image of you would definitely date or at least hang out with a lot.
Can I say something?
Right. Yes.
Ari, it's funny because this character this character you just created in my game, the outfit that you use, I have him. He's set up like a vampire type, just like that.
Nice.
Just like
Nice.
that. And I've been using that same outfit for the longest because he looks so cool with it. So it's almost vampire. I love it.
Oh, thank you. I'm so glad.
And for those that can't see, Baki himself is also wearing he looks like he's wearing like a robe and a red shirt. He looks like this.
We're all back to the robe. I see.
Yes.
We got to bring it full circle.
Bring it full circle. Yeah.
Yes.
Next time I'll be have a little different setting when we come back next time.
Well, thank you so much, Baki, for joining us.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you for tonight. This is a lot of fun.
Yes, it was. All right. Well, thank you so much, everybody. Make sure to check us out on YouTube. Check us out on Twitch. We also have a podcast, so you check us out wherever you find your podcasts as well. So thank you again, everybody, for joining us, and I hope y'all have a wonderful day.
At Geek Insider, we foster relationships with those in the geek sphere so we can give our audience this insider view of entertainment